Guys, kind of a real life green sheet submission. Generally, when we do these in class, it is kind of a fake one or a test loop that we use just for teaching purposes, but we recently listed our house and Kelsey was our agent, so we get to do an actual green sheet with y'all, and I wanted to walk you guys through that. So whenever you actually, let's go back, sorry. In my KW, you can get to let's go back 1,000 times. Okay, in my KW, you can go to Start My Transaction. That will bring you directly into .loop. And as a brand new agent, you've got to do that at least once to tie your accounts together. Once you've done it, you can go just directly to .loop.com and log in through there if it doesn't automatically log you in. All right, so I'm going to look for my loop that I want to submit. And we are out of our option period, so right now we're just waiting to close. So right under my loop name, this far right option is View Details, so I'm going to click on that. Up here, I've got Submit to Greensheet. On some versions or some computers, you may not have this option up here. Where it absolutely will be is at the very bottom, Submit to Greensheet here. Everyone has that button right there. So when we hit Submit to Greensheet, what that's going to do is open up another tab for Greensheet. The perk to going to Greensheet through .loop is that it will automatically pull in some of the information that you have put into your loop details. This just saves you some time and can help keep you more accurate because you're not having to retype it. It will just pull that information over. So you can see that it has pulled over my street number, street name, zip code, and as I go through this form, you'll see some other things that it has pulled through. So some things it does not pull through, one of them being the MLS number, even if I have put it in my .loop details. So I'm going to type that in, and I just tab through this form. It's super easy. So this is documents at, the title company is Lone Star Abstract. And y'all forgive me, I'm on Kelsey's computer and I'm not used to this. So title company, Lone Star Abstract. It is residential. The contract date, I believe, was April, oh gosh, now I'm trying to think. I think it was April 24th. I'm going to go with that. Or no, I'm sorry, May. Maybe May 22nd. It was a Wednesday. And then our close date, we are closing on June 27th. I'll just verify that that's correct. This will default to buyer sale. You'll just need to change it to listing if it's a listing. The class property, you can put a listing source in there if you'd like. And then the type, resale, new home, lot. This is a resale. And again, if I wanted to put my MLS number in there, I could, but it has pulled over my number, street name. If there's a unit number, it goes here. Midland, Texas, the zip code, county is another thing that does not pull over, unfortunately. So I'll put Midland. Next section. And now one thing, you can go through sections like this without completing it. It just will not let you submit your green sheet until it's completed. Okay, so let's go back to price. The list price was $215. We ended up getting $220, which is awesome. Kelsey's super sweet and said she would do 2% for us, but y'all's should be 3%, right? So it will automatically calculate that. If you're doing a flat rate commission, you would just change this to flat rate and put in what your rate is. If you do percentage, you put in your percentage, not the total, and it will auto calculate this number for you. So we'll do next section. The buyer, their names are James and Florence Bucknell, and so there's only one line for buyer. If you want to do James Bucknell or Florence or together or just list one, that's fine, as long as there's a name in there. If I wanted to put more contact information in there for them, I could. Next section, a seller. It just has my name in there, but I will go ahead and add DJ in there too. Next section, so agent details, agent A will automatically populate as you. So we'll have your name in there, agent role. Unless you are on a team, you're going to be individual agent. If you are on a team, then you will have either buyer specialist, listing specialist, or lead agent. Most of y'all will be individual agents. Type, listing. and agency seller. You see this dual, that's only if you're working both sides of a deal, but generally I don't see that too often. So seller, listing unit is going to be 1. She listed 1 total unit. And you can see that after I put that listing unit in, these other amounts started to auto-populate. So 1 unit at 220,000, gross commission 4,400. If I had an outside referral percentage, it would go here. And just for example's sake, if I did have one, say at 20%, once I tab out of that section, this notification will pop up telling me to make sure that I fill out my outside referral section below. And I'll show you where that is. Right down here. If I had never put anything in that outside referral section, it would not show up. So that's fine. So we'll take that out of there. All right, and we'll just move down here. Let me see, it will default to 100% to agent. That is only if you're capped. If you are not capped, you'll do split with Market Center. If you forget to change that, that's fine. We'll catch it on the back end. Or if you're not sure, you can just pick one or the other, and we'll figure it out whenever we do whenever Teal processes your green sheet on the other side. Okay, so you can see that it has a commission split here, and then what that total is going to be, which is capped on royalty, yes or no. Again, if you're not sure, go ahead and mark no, and we'll figure that out on the other end. Or say Kelsey only had $100 left to cap on royalty, but it's trying to take out $264. You could click yes or no either way, but in the notes section, which we'll get to in a second, you could put a note to Teal telling her that you should cap on royalty in the middle. The system should catch it, but y'all should be tracking your numbers as well, and just for the sake of making sure that somebody catches it, you might want to put that in the notes section. Okay, so we'll continue to move down. You've got your 1099 income. If you would like to donate to any of these charities, this is where you do that. Now do notice it is red, so even if you do not want to donate, you have to put something in here. So even if, like I said, even if it's 0, that's fine. Just have to put a number in there. You generally won't have anything below this red section. So if you think that you might, either put it in the notes or come to us and ask to make sure, but you generally won't have anything here. So this net agent check is the check that you will see at the end of this transaction. So make sure that that looks accurate. Next section. The co-broker is the agent on the other side. So this one happens to be Mike Loftus, and he is with the sales team. So we're going to put his name, his broker information in there. If you wanted to put more information in there, you could. Now this recruiting tool is exactly what it sounds like. If you've spoken to them about a career at Keller Williams, great, put yes or no. Do you think they'd be a good fit at Keller Williams? Y'all know not everyone is. It's a culture thing. So, or maybe they'd be great here. Maybe they said something about training that they wish they had. Maybe we would work for them. So if you want to fill this out, great. All that does is go back to either Kelsey or Erica, and they will just reach out to that agent, thank them for their transaction, make sure everything went well, and see if we can help out in any way. So that's what that section's for. We're going to go to next. Vendors, the loan type. So the buyers have a VA loan. The mortgage company is Prime West. And if you're representing the listing agent and you don't know the buyer's financials or that loan information, that's fine. You can put unknown, at least try to get a little bit of information, the loan type, but like I said, if you don't know the mortgage company or the mortgage officer name specifically, just put unknown, but you do have to put something in that section. I happen to know that their mortgage officer is Melissa Wicker, so we'll put that in there. Notice this area is not red. You don't have to put anything in here, but if you wanted to, you could. One thing I would suggest is that if you do have a buyer and there is a home warranty involved, I would fill this home warranty information out. Only because, they could call you in a month or so when their hot water heater goes out, and you can quickly pull this information up and still be able to help them. All right, so we'll go to next section. If I had any notes, like I said, this would be something like if you know, because you're tracking your numbers, that you should be capping either on royalty or company dollar in the middle of a transaction, you can make a note in there, and that will get back to Teal when she's processing your green sheet. Another thing that you may put in there, that you should put in there, if you have an outside referral, throughout the form there is not a place to actually put the name of the agent that it goes to. We'll go back up here and I'll show you. Oh, well, just fake outside referral again. That way I can pull this up and show you what it looks like. It gives you the option to put two different outside referrals. So you can put the company name and the information as far as mailing address, but there is not a way to list the agent on the other end that it goes to. So what's really helpful and saves time for everyone is if you have an outside referral, in the notes section at the bottom, let me make sure to take that out. In the notes section at the bottom, just make a note to us or to Teal that says outside referral goes to agent so-and-so. That way we have a name to put in the memo on the check whenever we mail it. That way we know who it goes to, they know who it goes to when they receive it, and there's no hunting around for that. Okay, so I don't have any notes. This is a pretty basic green sheet. So I'm going to submit to MCA. Notice this box pops up. My green sheet is not submitted yet until I hit submit green sheet again. So do make sure that you hit submit to MCA down here and submit green sheet again. Once I click this, it will go to Teal. It will say partially accepted. That just means that it has gone through the first stage of acceptance. So it has been sent to Teal. If I had failed to fill out any of these required fields, it would have kicked it back and told me a message up here telling me what wasn't filled out or what seemed incorrect. Okay, so you can always go back and change that. But yeah, this one is now partially accepted, so we're through that part. And say something changes after a green sheet's been submitted, whatever that may be, the easiest and best way to handle that situation is to send an email to Teal and tell her this address, this is what's changed. That way she can manually fix that on her end to make sure that everything is accurate. All right, so I hope that was helpful. If you guys have any questions, let Kelsey or I know, or Emily. But for now, that's all I got. I think tomorrow we will do the green sheet for the house that I'm buying, so you'll be able to see a green sheet from the listing side and a green sheet from the buyer side. They are very, very similar, other than a couple things being changed, but it might be helpful, so we'll do that one tomorrow. Thanks, guys.